Alright guys, it is time to finish up May. It took 5 videos to get through everything, but it's time to wrap it up. We got 6 movies to talk about, 3 of which are on physical. You haven't even seen me pick one up. That'll be in a Facebook pickup video, so that'll be a surprise. Plus, the first movie we're going to talk about was pretty crazy because it was the first time Bridget and myself had gone back to a movie theater since early March 2020. The last movie we saw in theaters was The Hunt, pretty much 4 or 5 days before everything got locked down. I got furloughed from my job for months and months, and hadn't been in movies since March. And 2 movies were announced that they were getting me back to the theater. I was ready to go back, and we saw them both over Memorial Day weekend. And we'll talk about the first one right now, and that was A Quiet Place Part 2. So, back to the movie theater. Like I said, a pretty full theater, and like my experience watching the first one, people were actually quiet and didn't talk, which was great. Not quite the case with the other movie I saw on the weekend, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. So, Quiet Place 2. I really enjoyed the first Quiet Place. I thought it was suspenseful. I thought it was a masterclass in sound design in a film. It just was really well done. John Krasinski's first movie that he had written and directed. Just a really good PG-13 horror movie. RJ enjoyed it. We watched it at home. And he went with us to see the second one. So it was RJ, myself, and Bridget, my girlfriend, and I was incredibly excited about the sequel, and I thought the sequel was good. The opening sequence of the film, the first 15 minutes, 10 minutes, absolute best part of the movie. Wish a lot of it didn't get shown in trailers, because that is the high point of the film for me. After that, nothing else in the movie comes close to that first 15 minutes for me. My issue, I guess, with this movie, it's not really an issue, it's more of a nitpick, is the movie doesn't offer anything new. Like, the monsters look cool, but it's pretty much just more of what the first movie did, in my opinion. And that just, I mean, I enjoyed it. It wasn't bad, but I just wanted more, I guess. I wanted something different. The movie's really short, too. I want to say it's like 85 minutes. And the credits come really early. But anyway, I really enjoyed the first movie. I enjoyed the second movie. If you enjoyed the first movie, I believe you're going to enjoy the second movie. I gave A Quiet Place Part 2 a 3.5. Like I said, far from being a bad movie to me. I enjoyed it quite a bit, so it got a 3.5 out of 5. So the next movie we watched, RJ started getting like really bad cold symptoms. I, at that point, had just gotten over a bit of a cold, and we decided he was just really tired, so we laid in bed, and we watched a couple comfort movies for the next few days, because I had him over a long weekend. And the first one we watched, I told him to pick out something to lay in bed, and him and I would watch a movie, and he chose Heavyweights, which I absolutely adore. I've talked about it on this channel before. I have comfort movies as well, so I get it. And both movies he picked used to be comfort movies when I was younger and didn't feel well, so it's pretty cool. So yeah, I've talked about this on the channel before. I love this film. Ben Stiller's absolutely fantastic as Mr. Perkis himself, Tony Perkis. Executive produced by Judd Apatow. It's just a fun kids movie. It's a fun family film. I wish they made movies like this still. I feel like this is a genre that doesn't really exist anymore. The movie's highly quotable. If you haven't seen it, Body! You know, the Buddy System. So, I've always been a bigger guy, so this movie really resonated with me as a young kid, and it's always just been something I really enjoy personally. So Heavyweights is a 4 out of 5 for me. I just really love the movie. It's really a sentimental favorite for me, and just a movie I enjoy it. And another favorite of mine, childhood film of mine that I absolutely adore, is The Sandlot, which I've also talked about on this channel before. This is cool. This is the baseball slipcover where you can feel the stitching of the ball. And I believe, to talk about this for a second, yes, I have the original pack of cards that came with it. They're all playing cards. I would open that if I was going to meet somebody from the cast and get the card signed, probably. A discount for PF Flyers. That's probably expired June of 2013. And then the Blu-ray DVD combo pack. So I love Sandlot. RJ loves Sandlot. Another quotable comedy that offers a lot of heart and just chemistry. One of my favorite sports movies involving children. And just, man, Ham Porter is a legend. I have my Ham Porter pop up there. He's one of my favorite characters in a family movie ever. Patrick Renna is so great as Ham, and he has all the best lines in the movie. And James Earl Jones shows up late in the movie, pretty much in one scene, and he's fantastic as well. And just such a fun, a family summer movie. It's a great summer film. The Sandlot I highly recommend. If you haven't seen it, it's crazy. I also have a Wendy Peppercorn and Squints pop. I forgot all about that. One of the best scenes in the movie. So The Sandlot, I give a 4.5 out of 5. I love The Sandlot, and I highly recommend The Sandlot. So the next night we had a new movie from Facebook to watch. And this movie had been on my radar. I wasn't in any kind of rush to watch it. I know it was part of Disney Plus Premier Access, but I wasn't going to spend $30 on it, especially when I knew it would be coming to 4K rather quickly. And the lead voice is Kelly Marie Tran, who I believe is Rose in Star Wars Episode 8 and 9. And she's the voice actor of Raya. And that, of course, is Raya and the Last Dragon on 4K. Like I said, I have not shown that I picked this up, but I got it from Facebook the week it came out. So I thought she was great as Raya in this film. I thought this movie was very well done. It looks beautiful. Entertaining characters. You could kind of tell from the beginning with most Disney movies, I think it's pretty predictable where a story's going to go. And this movie kind of followed the path you would think it would go on. But for me, and I know this is a divisive opinion, especially among friends, Awkwafina is fantastic in this movie. She voices Sisu, the dragon, and I love Awkwafina. I think in most of what she's done, I've been a huge fan. She's on a show on Comedy Central that she created called Nora from Queens. She used to rap and make incredibly dirty rap songs. Google it if you're old enough. There's one particular song where I don't even want to say the title in here, but it is My and then a female body part. And that is a very catchy song. And like I said, she used to rap. And she was amazing in Crazy Rich Asians. And then she was in a film called The Farewell, which was an A24 movie. And she was outstanding in it. So Awkwafina, I know she's going to be in the new Shang-Chi movie that comes out in September. But Raya and the Last Dragon was fun. Like I said, a beautiful movie. And it will be staying on my shelf. I enjoyed it. I give it a 3.5 out of 5. A very fun Disney animated film. So next up was the other movie that we went and saw in theaters, and that was Disney's Cruella, which I really, really was excited about, as I love Emma Stone, and it was the first Emma Stone movie in a while that was coming out, and I was just really excited about the movie. And she plays the lead character as Cruella. And gives a very, very fun performance. I thought she was really good in the movie, and I just think the movie's really fun. Emma Thompson plays the villain in this film, which is funny because it's a movie about a villain, and the villain isn't the villain in the movie. Am I confusing you guys yet? But the star of this movie, and it's something that I know after writing my review for, I went and watched Chris Stuckman's review. As I do with most things I watch after I've written my review, I watch Chris Stuckman's videos because I like to hear his opinion, and I think he's entertaining, and I stay right here so I can get Stuckmanized. I do all that. And he kind of complained about the music in the movie. And for me, the soundtrack of the film and how it's used in the film was the highlight of the movie for me. The soundtrack of this movie, if they put out the full soundtrack and not just select songs, I would go buy the soundtrack in a heartbeat. It was very well done. It has a mix of like covers and classic songs from the 60s and 70s, as that's the time period that the movie takes place in. And it just adds to the fun vibe of the movie. And the side characters, Jasper and Horace, were well done too, as well as Artie. I thought was a very fun character. I just really enjoyed the movie. I'll be getting it on 4K when it comes out for sure. I really enjoyed it and just thought it was a fun time. I really enjoyed it. It was a good time. I enjoyed that a little more than Quiet Place 2, as I mentioned earlier. So Quiet Place 2, the theater was pretty packed. We went on an afternoon and the theater was still really full. And we went and saw Cruella in the afternoon. There was maybe 4 or 5 other people in the theater, including 2 people right in the row in front of us who did not shut up the entire time. So glad to see that after 14 months, people still don't know how to act in a movie theater. And they don't understand when somebody goes, shh, that means you stop talking. I guess they thought that meant you talk louder so we could hear what they were saying. That's my rant about people who don't know how to act in a movie theater. You're all animals and you should learn how to behave. And the last thing that I watched in May, the final film of May, was a movie I was terrified to watch. Full disclosure, I did not want to watch these movies, but the new one was coming out in the upcoming week. And Bridget is a fan of the first 2, so I, being the scaredy cat but great boyfriend I am, was like, let's check it out. And we watched The Conjuring. And the movie is really good. We watched the original Conjuring. I was worried that it would be very full of jump scares and creepy, but this was just a well done horror movie. Like, when there was a jump scare, it was scary, like the It remake. There's great visuals. Vera Farmiga and Patrick Wilson are outstanding as the Warrens. And there were a few scenes that I was legit covering my eyes because I was freaked out. And the big scare that's in the movie with the, that thing going on was ruined for me because I've either seen it in trailers or talked about in Watch Mojo videos. So that was a bit of a bummer. But, I've heard that the sequel is a bit creepier, so I'll keep my thoughts to myself. I've seen all 3 Conjuring movies now, but we'll talk about those in the upcoming weeks. And that's it, guys. That is the end of May. 28 total movies watched in May, 13 of which were watched in the final week of May. Surprise of the month, The Mitchells vs. the Machines. Was not expecting to like a straight to Netflix, but it was supposed to be a theatrical movie. It was not expecting it to be as good as it was or as funny as it was, so it was a pleasant surprise. And Hot Trash of the Month was The Jesus Rolls. Why did that movie get made? John Turturro, you disappoint me. That is it, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Be sure to give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. I can't talk. Leave some comments down below. Let me know what you guys thought about my reviews. Also, be sure to check out the description box down below where you can find links to my Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Blu-ray.com profile, my Amazon wishlist, my eBay store, Letterboxd where I rate and review all the movies I watch, P.O. Box, email address, all can be found right down below. Thank you guys for watching. I have an itchy nose. I'm going to relax for a little because then I'm going out to a nice dinner and a movie tonight. So, until next time, who's down to a movie? Baby.